change of state of matter. There are three states of matter we all know: solids, liquid and gas or vapors. The transition of matter from one state to another is termed as change of state. So when heat is supplied or heat is taken out, there are commonly two states for the change of state of matter: solid to liquid and liquid to vapor or gaseous state, and opposite to it, gaseous state to liquid state and liquid state to solid state. So when suppose we have ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius and we go on supplying heat to this ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius, then what will happen? Its temperature will increase from minus 10 to minus 9, minus 8, minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, and then to 0 degrees Celsius. And when temperature of ice becomes 0 degrees Celsius and we still continue to supply heat to this ice at 0 degrees Celsius, then we will find that the temperature of ice won't increase. Now the state of ice will start changing, ice will start melting. So now this ice at 0 degrees Celsius will start melting into water at 0 degrees Celsius. And this process will continue, this change of state of matter will continue until the whole of ice at 0 degrees Celsius is converted into water at 0 degrees Celsius. So this amount of heat that has been given, that has been supplied during this process of conversion of ice at 0 degrees Celsius into water at 0 degrees Celsius is called latent heat of melting of ice. And by the term latent heat of melting of ice, we mean the amount of heat required to change the state of 1 gram or 1 kilogram of ice at 0 degrees Celsius into water at 0 degrees Celsius. Means the amount of heat that is required to convert 1 gram of ice or in SI 1 kilogram of ice at 0 degrees Celsius into water at 0 degrees Celsius will be the latent heat of melting of ice. And this latent heat of melting of ice is 80 calorie per gram. So in calories, latent heat of melting of ice is 80 calorie per gram. 80 calorie per gram. Latent heat of melting. Or if we want to convert it into joules, then 80 into 4.18 joule per gram. And if we want to have this value in SI system, then it will be, so this 80 into 4.18 comes out to be somewhat 335 joule per gram. And this latent heat of melting of ice will be 335 kilojoule per kilogram. So this latent heat of melting of ice is 335 kilojoule per kilogram, and this conversion of solid state to liquid state is called melting, and conversion of liquid state into solid state is called fusion. So if we want to fuse water at 0 degrees Celsius into ice at 0 degrees Celsius, then we will have to take out the same amount of heat from water at 0 degrees Celsius to convert into ice at 0 degrees Celsius. So to 1 kilogram of ice, when we supply this amount of heat, so this 1 kilogram of ice at 0 degrees Celsius will convert into water at 0 degrees Celsius. Now if we further go on supplying heat to this water at 0 degrees Celsius, then this heat will increase the temperature of water from 0 to 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So in this way the temperature of water will go on increasing from 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 90 to 100. Now when the temperature of water reaches to 100 degrees Celsius and we still go on supplying heat, then what will happen at 100 degrees Celsius? There will be no further increase in temperature of water now. At 100 degrees Celsius, when we will go on supplying heat to this water, then water will start converting into water vapors. So water which is in liquid state will convert into a gaseous state. So this amount of heat that we are supplying to change the state of matter without any change in its temperature. So now the question is where this energy goes. This heat energy that we are supplying to ice at 0 degrees Celsius to convert into water at 0 degrees Celsius. So on account of supplying this amount of heat equivalent to latent heat of melting of ice, this heat increases the internal energy of the molecules. So this heat that we are supplying won't be having any direct impact on the temperature. Ice at 0 degrees Celsius will convert into water at 0 degrees Celsius, but the internal energy, the kinetic energy of the molecules of ice will increase. And similarly, when the temperature of water reaches to 100 degrees Celsius, and at that temperature when we go on supplying heat to water, then what happens? Water at 100 degrees Celsius keeps on converting into steam at 100 degrees Celsius or water vapors at 100 degrees Celsius. So here also the heat that we are giving to water at 100 degrees Celsius to get converted into steam at 100 degrees Celsius, this heat that we are supplying, it is used by this water in two ways. When water converts into steam, then at 1 atmospheric pressure, the corresponding volume of steam will be 1671 liter. When 1 liter of water will convert into steam at 1 atmospheric pressure, then its volume of the steam will be 1671 liters, means the volume of water increases by 1670 liters. So for this increase in volume of the steam, this steam has to make place by displacing the atmospheric air. So the heat that we are supplying to water is used up in two ways. In making space by displacing atmospheric air for itself, and when water converts into steam, then kinetic energy or internal energy of the molecules increases to large extent. So the heat that is latent heat of vaporization is used for increasing the volume against atmospheric pressure and to increase the internal energy of the molecules of water. And this latent heat of vaporization of water is 536 calorie per gram. A huge amount of heat or energy is needed to convert 1 gram of water at 100 degrees Celsius into water vapors at 100 degrees Celsius, because here the heat is to be supplied for the increase in volume of the steam, as well as to increase its internal energy. Means we have to break the intermolecular forces between the water molecules. So huge amount of energy is required to convert water at 100 degrees Celsius into water vapors at 100 degrees Celsius. So it is 536 calorie per gram. So it is nearly 7 times is latent heat of vaporization of water than latent heat of melting of ice or latent heat of fusion of water. And this value nearly comes out to be 2245 joules per gram, or it is 2245 into 10 raised to power 3 joules per kilogram. So a huge amount of heat or huge amount of energy is required to convert 1 kilogram of water at 100 degrees Celsius into water vapors at 100 degrees Celsius. So supply of heat or taking out of heat is involved in the change of state. So these changes, the states of matter have different energies. So means in solid state the atoms are very strongly bound. Their internal energy increases when solid converts into liquid state, and then in gaseous state the internal energy increases to a large extent. So if we understand it by a graph, then we take this graph. Here, if we take ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius and we go on supplying heat, so then when we will go on supplying heat, then temperature of ice will change from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. And then we will go on supplying heat to minus 10 to 0, we supplied heat and temperature increased. But at 0 degrees Celsius, if we further supply heat, there will be no further increase in temperature of the ice. At this temperature of 0 degrees Celsius, ice will convert into water at 0 degrees Celsius. So the temperature will remain 0. And the temperature will remain 0. Over this part, the heat that is being supplied is being used in changing the state of matter from ice to ice at 0 degrees Celsius into water at 0 degrees Celsius. Then the temperature will start increasing. If we further supply heat, then temperature will start increasing and it will increase up to 100 degrees Celsius. Once the temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius, then after that, if we continue to supply heat, the temperature remains 100 degrees Celsius, but what happens over this part also? Water converts into steam. So over this part there is conversion of ice into water. Here ice at 0 degrees Celsius is converting into water at 0 degrees Celsius. And over this part water at 100 degrees Celsius is converted into steam at 100 degree Celsius. So huge amount of heat is required for the conversion of water into steam. And when steam will condense into water, a huge amount of heat will be released. And it is the reason due to which we have a severe burn when we get steam incidenting on our body part, on any body part of us. Then we have a severe burn by steam than the water at the same temperature. So steam at 100 degrees Celsius causes more severe burn than water at 100 degrees Celsius, because water at 100 degrees Celsius, suppose our body temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, so water at 100 degrees Celsius will cool from 100 to that point. What will happen in case of steam? Steam will transfer, suppose 1 gram of steam incidents on our hand, then it will transfer 536 calorie of heat to condense from steam of 100 degrees Celsius into water at 100 degrees Celsius, and then it will cool down. So we have a more severe burn by steam at 100 degrees Celsius than water at 100 degrees Celsius, because latent heat of vaporization of water is too large.